the saga continues. So I'm sure that you students must have done each and everything which was completed in our previous lecture. I'm 100% sure. Now just look at the next. So if we look at the first point for today's lecture, we have to look at the beginning of the story. We had done title, we had done about the author, we have done about the characters, we have done about the overview of this particular story. Now it's time to just begin the chapter in a very systematic way. So just look at the first point of the chapter. If we look at first point of the chapter, we'll highlight that King Tut died when he was very young. When he was young means a teenager. So I had already explained this particular term. Teenager means while the child is between the age of 13 to 19. So I think first point for today's lecture is crystal clear. King Tut died when he was just a teenager. I think crystal clear up to this particular point. Now, just look at the second point for today. Now, if I look at the second point for today's lecture, this is the beginning of the story. So, he was the last heir of the powerful dynasty. So, that had ruled the empire for centuries. Now, just understand this particular point. If we look at the second point, King Tut was the last. Yeah, that should be silent so far as this particular word is concerned. So we have to look at the meaning of this particular word. If we look at the pronunciation, that will be it. And will completely be silent as we look at word honest. Oh, just look at the meaning of this particular word. Here it means the person who just inherits assets and liabilities. Now just look at the thing. उस पर्सन को बोला जाता है जो अगली पीढ़ी का हकदार होता है, अगली पीढ़ी का जो इतना भी बेसिकली we look at हैरिट्स का मतलब होता है जितने भी पूर्वजों की जो बेसिक प्रॉपर्टी होती है या बेसिक आई थिंक इफ वी लुक एट डिक्टेटरशिप में क्या होता है, यहाँ पे जो बात की जा रही है इजिप्ट की, ये डिक्टेटरशिप के बारे में की जाती है. डिक्टेटरशिप आपने एसएसटी में पढ़ा होगा कि जब जो कम्युनिटी होती है, जो रूलर बनते हैं वो एज पर द कम्युनिटी. तो अगर ग्रैंडफादर राजा होता है, देन फादर, देन अगेन एंड अगेन नेक्स्ट एंड नेक्स्ट जनरेशन. So I think crystal clear about this particular word. It was the last successor of the powerful dynasty. बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग डायनेस्टी थी, जो डायनेस्टी डिक्टेटरशिप के अंडर जो सिस्टम होता है उसमें सेंचुरी से रूल कर रही थी. He was the successor of that particular dynasty. I think crystal clear so far as first and second point is are concerned. First point, King Tut died very early. जो किंग ट्यूट था उसकी डेथ बहुत जल्दी हो गया था. कारण ये था कि वो लास्ट सक्सेसर था अपनी डायनेस्टी का. Maybe I think in the greed of taking the empire from that particular community that was done. So I think crystal clear so far as these 2 points are concerned. Now just look at the third point for today's lecture. Dear students, really I will not repeat. Note down each and every difficult word. So NCERT book, your practice register, pens and pencils. So it is your moral responsibility to keep all and use all. So just look at the third point. So far as today's lecture is concerned, if the page 22 of your book, students, don't forget that. So now, since the discovery of the storm in 1922, the modern world has speculated about what happened to him, with murder being the most extreme possibility. We look at this particular third point, we should be able to look at this particular point. So after discovery of Tom of King Tut in 1922, so what had happened, you should be able to look at the thing. The modern world had speculated. So if we look at this particular word, speculated क्या होता है जब हम बिना प्रूफ के बिना एविडेंस के कुछ अंदाजा लगाते हैं. So that this word I think note down in the dictionary of your mind and note down in your registers also. So speculation क्या होता है जब हम किसी भी पॉइंट का किसी भी पॉइंट के कंक्लूजन तक पहुंचते हैं without any basic facts. So I think crystal clear so far as this word is concerned. So now just look at the thing. So what had happened? So now understand this particular point in a decent way. Third point. So after the discovery of Tom of King Tut in 1922, 1922 में जब discovery हुई जो Tom King Tut का, just look at the meaning of Tom also. What is Tom? M will be silent. We have to speak the things in that. M के बाद जब B होता है, automatically that will be silent. That will be Tom. Tom. जैसे you should be able to look at this particular point. So we have to speak Tom. B will entirely be silent. Now just look at the meaning. Is enclosure to bury the dead. चलिए अगर हिंदी में इसका मतलब बताया जाए मकबरे को बोलते हैं. We look at the meaning in English, enclosure to bury the dead. So automatically you are crystal clear. The Taj Mahal है, that is also a tomb, मकबरा है. So I think crystal clear about this particular word in a very systematic way. So speculation, I think also you are crystal clear to form a theory without proof. जब हम किसी चीज का अंदाजा लगाते हैं, speculation करते हैं बिना लाइव प्रूफ के, should be able to look at the thing. King Tut के टॉम की जब डिस्कवरी हुई, उसके बाद लोगों ने अंदाजा लगाना शुरू कर दिया कि कैसे इसकी डेथ हुई हो. How that fellow died. So people were crazy to understand that particular basic point because that was suspense. Nobody was able to recognize the thing. So now just look at the thing, understand this particular point again. Okay, just look at 1922 में जब इनोवेशन हुआ टॉम जो किंग ट्यूट का था, तो व्हाट हैड हैपन, लोगों ने अंदाजे लगाने शुरू कर दिए, स्पेकुलेशन शुरू कर दी कि क्यों, तो उनकी कैसी इसकी डेथ हुई होगी. एंड पीपल वर एबल टू just think and after thinking they had made imagination that fellow might be murdered. तो बहुत सोचने के बाद उन्होंने अंदाजा लगाया, लेकिन जो भी स्पेकुलेशन किया था उसका फैक्ट नहीं था उनके पास कोई. So automatically they had thought and thought and thought. Ultimately, they were able to conclude the thing कि that fellow might be murdered. Already मैंने कहा ना कि ये last year था अपनी community का, अपने जो इनकी जो heredity चलती आ रही थी, और कोई नहीं था जिसको राज्य मिल सके. तो ऑटोमेटिकली इस कारण लोगों ने ये स्पेकुलेशन किया कि दैट फेलो माइट बी किल्ड, क्योंकि किसी कम्युनिटी ने राज्य को अपने अंडर करने के लिए, अपना अधिकार राज्य पे एम्पायर पे करने के लिए उसका मर्डर किया था. ऑटोमेटिकली यू आर क्रिस्टल क्लियर. सो फॉर एज थर्ड पॉइंट ऑफ today's lecture is concerned, understand the things in a very systematic way if you want to look at the thing. And even before understanding concepts, concepts must be very clear in front of you. Maybe term, maybe speculation, maybe any word. You should be crystal clear, deep into each and every point. Automatically, along with pronunciation, like term. Here, HEIR. So I think crystal clear. So far as third point, today's lecture is concerned. Now just look at the fourth point. So far as today's lecture is concerned, page 22 again. So now living in storm for the first time in almost 80 years, youth has undergone a CT scan and offers new clues about his life and death and provides precise data for an accurate forensic reconstruction of the boyish birth. Just look at fourth point of today's lecture. So you should be able to look at this particular point, just study the things in a detail way. So if we look at the deep point to begin this particular point, so that is, you will have to look at the things. He now living in storm for the first time in almost 80 years. He was away from his storm after almost 80 years. क्यों? उसकी जो डेड बॉडी थी, that was to be investigated. So that is why you should be able to recognize this particular fact. Youth was undergone a CT scan. So he was undergone a CT scan. What is CT scan? You should be able to look at the things. ये 3D X-rays होते हैं basically. तो ये क्या करते हैं, हर पार्ट का, हर ऑर्गन का एक्सरेस लिए जाते हैं. 3 डायमेंशन जो कंप्यूटराइजेशन होती है उससे. तो इन ऑर्डर टू रिकॉग्नाइज ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट, यानी ऑर्गन की and should be able to look at the thing anatomically. प्रॉपर वे में जानकारी के लिए सीटी स्कैन was done. तो ऑटोमेटिकली तो सीटी स्कैन में क्या होता है, पूरी बॉडी जो होती है उसको मशीन में डाल दिया जाता है. तो ऑटोमेटिकली इन ऑर्डर टू सर्च आउट द थिंग्स. So now just look at the thing, look at the word forensic reconstruction. Forensic होता है related to crime. So science will just highlight how the crime was done. तो ये ऐसी साइंस होती है फोरेंसिक जो हाईलाइट करती है कि व्हाट, हाउ एंड व्हेन वाज क्राइम डन. तो ये उस साइंस को बोला जाता है. रिकंस्ट्रक्शन क्या होता है, यू हैव टू लुक एट दिस पर्टिकुलर वर्ड. तो इफ वी लुक एट दिस पर्टिकुलर वर्ड रिकंस्ट्रक्शन होता है जब हम पूरी तरह से रिकंस्ट्रक्ट करते हैं. वी आर एबल टू by computer we are able to redesign the things. तो यहाँ पे जो कंप्यूट था उसके जो फेस को रिकंस्ट्रक्ट करने की कोशिश की जा रही थी. तो आई थिंक क्रिस्टल क्लियर. सिटी स्कैन is crystal clear. I think So automatically, just look at the point again. Last point of page 22, don't forget that. तो क्या हुआ था, ट्यूब जो था सिटी स्कैन ट्यूब का हुआ था और उससे बहुत सारे क्लूज निकले कि कैसे उसकी डेथ हुई होगी और डाटा निकला था, प्रिसाइज होता है, करेक्ट डेटा, एक्यूरेट डेटा फॉर एन एक्यूरेट फोरेंसिक रिकंस्ट्रक्शन, कहाँ की क्राइम से के बारे में प्रॉपर वे से जानकारी हो कि किस तरीके से इस फेलो की डेथ हुई थी, कब हुई थी. तो to look at the how of that particular crime, now just CT scan was done. तो boyish होता है जो teenager होता है जिसको boy word से you should be able to look at something. Pharaoh, if we look at this particular word, Pharaoh is basically ancient Egypt king. Pharaoh word किसके लिए यूज किया जाता है, जो ancient Egypt king के लिए यूज किया जाता है. ऑटोमेटिकली क्रिस्टल क्लियर अबाउट द थिंग. Almost 80 years, after almost 80 years, CT scan of that body was done to look at the clues about the base of that particular crime. So I think crystal clear so far as this particular point for today's lecture is concerned. So now look at the next point. Look at page 23 of your book. Just look at this particular point in detail. I think पिछला पॉइंट आपको समझ आ चुका है, फिर भी मैं हिंदी में दोबारा आपको बता रही हूँ कि 80 ईयर के बाद क्या हुआ था, व्हाट हैड हैपेंड. किंग ट्यूट की बॉडी को इन्वेस्टिगेट किया गया. इसलिए कि क्या कारण था उसकी डेथ का, उसको जानने के लिए ऑटोमेटिकली I think computerization was done, CT scan was done. Just look at the next point. I think you are noting down each and every point. This chapter is tough, and you will have to understand each and every term in a very systematic way. Now, next main point. What had happened? How the weather was converted while that process of investigating the body of King Tut was done. So if we look at the first paragraph of page number 23, that will highlight that particular point. क्या हुआ वेदर कंडीशन का जब किंग ट्यूट की बॉडी को डिस्टर्ब किया गया था, यानी किसके लिए, इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए. How was the weather? Just look at this particular basic main point. People look at the thing, strong wind started blowing. बहुत अंधेरी से होती है ना, strong wind, you are able to understand. अंधेरी को बोला जाता है. तो वो जो weather conditions were very critical at that moment. It seemed that God was very angry to look at that particular point. कि उनकी जो बॉडी है किंग ट्यूट की क्यों डिस्टर्ब किया गया है, उनकी मम्मी को क्यों डिस्टर्ब किया गया है. मम्मी वर्ड यू आर एबल टू रिकॉग्नाइज. तो टॉम में जो डेड बॉडी होती है दैट इज कॉल्ड मम्मी. मम्मीफिकेशन आई हैड टोल्ड यू इन माय प्रीवियस लेक्चर कि जो भी राजा महाराजा होते हैं उनकी जब उनकी डेथ होती है तो उनकी बॉडी को स्टोर करके रख दिया जाता है सिमेट्री में, दैट इज मम्मीफिकेशन. I think you are crystal clear about this particular point. Next step is that strong wind had started blowing. Then, it seemed that the things were very negative. Black clouds were there everywhere. The tufan jaise aata hai na, the conditions were like that. So then what had happened? King Tut was taken from his tomb. Automatically, you should be crystal clear. Now, let us study the things in detail. An angry wind stirred होता है just move. Note down STIRRED. That is means move. Ghostly होता है unnatural. Dust devil as King Tut was taken from his resting place. Resting place here means grave. जब किंग ट्यूट की बॉडी को सिटी स्कैन के लिए डिस्टर्ब किया गया, उसकी रेस्टिंग प्लेस से यानी ग्रेव से डिस्टर्ब किया गया, वेदर कंडीशंस वर क्रिटिकल. इट सीम्ड दैट गॉड वाज नॉट हैप्पी टू लुक एट the disturbance of that particular mummy. I think crystal clear up to this particular point. So in ancient Egyptian cemeteries known as the Valley of Kings, just look at the thing. जैसे ही किंग ट्यूट की बॉडी को सिटी स्कैन के लिए निकाला गया, तो ऑटोमेटिकली थिंग्स बिकेम वेरी क्रिटिकल, वेदर कंडीशंस बिकेम वेरी क्रिटिकल, all around negativity of neither was there. Automatically, I think you are crystal clear up to this particular point in a very decent way. So now just look at words start and never be pronounced like state. You have to look at this particular word in a very decent order, that is start. Start here means just to move or move. Ghostly here means unnatural. So resting place I have already told, great. So if we look at this particular word symmetry, CEMATRY. If we look at this particular word symmetry, we should be able to look at CEMATRY. We look at this particular word, it means a large burial ground. So I think crystal clear symmetry known as the veiling. So the veiling of. So this point is quite tough. Try to understand this particular point in a very decent way. Weather conditions became critical कब? जब किंग ट्यून की बॉडी को डिस्टर्ब किया गया इनोवेशन के लिए. What had happened? What had why symmetry? I think you are crystal clear. A large burial ground. If we look at Valley of Kings, understand this. So people to page number 24 to search out this particular